As most people know, Pokemon is a popular game franchise that is made to be experienced in multiple different ways by its fans. Some people play just for fun, some will play competitively, and some will play for a challenge. And then there are the people who just glitch the games, because why not? It's funny. But what if the aspect of a challenge was taken further than normal? What if it was taken to the extreme, as a way to find out the limits of a player's knowledge and skill across the evolution of a popular franchise? This is what the Franchise Locke aims to achieve. But what exactly is a Franchise Locke? Putting it simply, it's like a regular Pokemon Nuzlocke, but taken further than it should have been. A normal Nuzlocke will typically follow the rules of, if a Pokemon faints, it'll die and it cannot be used again. You can only catch one Pokemon per route. You have to nickname each Pokemon you find, and if you white out, you lose the run and have to start over. Some rounds will also apply something called a dupes clause, which pretty much means that you cannot catch Pokemon from the same species if you already have one of that species. But that doesn't explain a franchise lock, so what is it? A franchise lock is pretty much just these rules, but with added twists. The run is going to go along every single Pokemon game in the franchise, and Dupes Clause is going to run across the entire run, but it won't apply to certain static encounters or to Pokemon with extra evolutions or branching evolution paths. For example, if I bought the Gift Magikarp in Pokemon Red, I could catch the Red Gyarados in Pokemon Silver, and if I caught a Zubat or an Eevee in Pokemon Red, I could catch those Pokemon in generations that add a new evolution, or for Eevee, I can catch them whenever because they have so many branching evolution paths. But if I lose the run at any point, it ends completely and there are no do-overs. The closest thing that you're going to be getting to a do-over is having to restart the game from Pokemon Red, which is the place that we began. So if we lose at all, we have to redo everything. If it sounds like it's going to suck, that's because it is going to suck, and that's what makes it funny. Another thing that makes it funny is the fact that I'm bad at Pokemon games, and I've only ever beaten Sword and Scarlet before, and I've never beaten a Nuzlocke, so it's gonna suck really bad. Also, before the challenge actually gets to begin, I do want to say that if you would like to subscribe to help out my channel a bit, it would help me a lot, as it shows that this is something that is actually going to be interesting for people to want to watch. And also, I'm going to be streaming all of this live on Twitch, and I'm not going to be continuing the run until I get a video out, because that way more people actually know what's going on. And if you miss a stream, you can just watch the video and then pop in, because I plan to stream maybe an hour after each video gets posted. And then, without further ado, let's get started. Everything is fine, and nothing bad is going to happen. This will be the best stream ever, and I'm going to actually unmute the game now. So, starting off the run, the first thing that we did was name ourselves Milk, because that's me! And our rival, we named Cheese, and I cannot remember why. That was just the first thing that came to mind. It was Cheese. After being shrunk down to a small size, we left the house and made a beeline for the wild grass, where Oak ended up stopping us and dragged us to his evil laboratory, where he proceeded to offer us a gun and a bullet. We have to choose Bulbasaur, who we would name Cookie. Cookie would be our strategy to get through the first two gyms, being Rock and Water, but besides that, we'll struggle through the first gym if we didn't get lucky. Before we could even think about getting lucky, though, we had a problem. Cheese immediately wanted to jump into a battle with us, fighting with his Charmander. Now, the Nuzlocke doesn't start until we get Pokeballs, but if it did start before, we would have been in trouble.
Okay.
Cheese wants to fight. It's going to take too long. Cheese sent out Charmander. Right, guys? Jesus Christ? Yeah, I know. And Living Dex Clause. What is Living Dex Clause? What does that mean? Is that what I'm pretty much explaining? Okay, so Cookie should probably be fine and won't die in the oh no. Cookie should be fine. If Cookie dies in the first fight, it doesn't count because we haven't gotten our Pokeballs yet. But also that would kind of suck. You have to catch every Pokemon and put them into PC and all their evolutions. Oh god. Low roll. Hopefully no more low rolls. If Cookie misses... We can't win this fight! We can't win this fight! Oh my god. Hey guys, we just started. It doesn't count because we haven't gotten Pokeballs yet, but this is kind of ass. And I think this sets the tone. I know it doesn't count yet, we'll be fine. Okay, if Charmander keeps doing that, we can win. Cookie, lock in. Cookie, get a crit. Cookie, get a crit. Cookie. Cookie, one more. Cookie win! Cookie massive win because Charmander spammed Growl. I guess this is a coded victory. You can't lose this fight. That battle is not a coded victory. We just got lucky, and Cheese's Charmander ended up spamming Growl until the end of the fight, which immediately showed how good we're going to need our luck to be in this run, especially leading into the first route going into Viridian City, where Cookie almost immediately died to a Pidgey right before we got there. So, one trip to the Pokemon Center and the Pokemart later, we went back to the lab and gave Oak his parcel. However, before we gave Oak his parcel, we took a 5-minute detour adding my cat Pip to the stream because everyone wanted to see him, and by everyone, I mean me, I wanted to see him. He's going to be there for the rest of the stream. Then went back and got Pokeballs, marking the beginning of the run, but for real this time, meaning that if Cookie dies, it's all over. Once we got our first Pokeballs, we charged into Route 1 and caught our first Pokemon, a Pidgey that we named Ari. Immediately after that, we ran to the route to the left of Viridian City to catch a Rattata that we named Fat Rat. Right before we entered Viridian Forest, however, we decided to grind out a Weedle in the patch of grass right outside of the forest. A decision that would end up being both good for us, but also bad for us. Oh my god! Despite having a modest 15% chance to encounter a Weedle in that patch of grass, we never really did for a while. It took forever to encounter that damn Weedle. But eventually, after some more grinding in the grass, we did find a Weedle right as I was about to give up. It's okay, at least Fat Rat is still with us. Okay. After we finally caught V from Bug Fables, we moved into Viridian Forest and decided to try finding some of the ground items that were around. But sadly, our greed would be our downfall. Or at least the downfall of Fat Rat. Oh, we can't catch this because of Dupe's Claws. That was my strategy. Now we have actually more encounter opportunities here. Oh, if Fat Rat gets poisoned, that could be really bad, because we don't have any potions. Welcome back. Please, Fat Rat, please don't get poisoned. Oh, no. Hey, so that's a bad thing, actually. Can we make it back? Oh no. Oh no. Fat Rat. No! I'll be completely honest, I don't exactly know why I sped up there. I think speeding up made the death worse for me, because maybe I could have made it back within the 7 steps, and speeding up made it worse! Because it just made him die faster! But we couldn't dwell on the death of Fat Rat because we still had to get through Viridian Forest, which we had to spend most of that switch training V on Weedles. Really good salt in the wound. Once we actually made it out of the forest, we went to the Poké Center in Pewter City and then went back to the forest out of greed so that we could get a new encounter. And once again, luck was really important here. So most likely, we're either going to get a Caterpie or we're going to get lucky with a Pikachu. Oh! Look at that. That's a wild Pikachu right there. That's a 5% chance in this grass. Oh, the dog's around. We decided to name this Pikachu Fatty, in memory of Fat Rat, but also because Generation 1 Pikachu is adorable and just this chunky little rat. After a quick visit to the museum, we decided to train up in the grass right before the gym. This is an example of speed up being very useful and possibly essential for this run because... Yeah, Yeah, grinding takes quite a while in these games, but that's okay because it makes it feel more worth it. Unless you're me and you cheated your way through using speed up. Right after that session of training, though, we went to our first gym to face Brock, who probably would have been quite a challenge, but we had a Bulbasaur with us named Cookie. And then we send in Cookie, and now we hopefully win big. As long as this doesn't do a lot. Yeah, we're good. We'll put in Leech Seed just so we can get health. I want to try and beat the first 2 gyms in this stream, because then I can actually edit that. That's a good amount of video I could edit. Nice. Yes, I'm going to put in V again for the EXP, and then I'll send Cookie back in, and we should be fine to win. Alright, Cookie, win big. Damn! Cookie sweep! Right there, Cookie showed how good they were going to be for this run, and it allowed us to move past the first gym with only the first 2 casualties that we had, which were Fat Rat and Ari. They probably would have made it really far, but losing them wouldn't mean the end of this run. At least not yet. For now, the only thing we could do was move forward to head to Route 3, where we had V evolve in the Beedrill and caught our next new Pokemon, a Spearow that we named Kenya, due to this catch locking us out at a free Spearow we would have gotten in Gold and Silver. Heading to the Pokemon Center, we bought a Magikarp named Goldie, and then began the long trek through Mount Moon, where we also caught a Zubat named Crow, named for the fact that this also would have locked us out of Crobat if not for how the Dupe's Clause works. For now, though, all we had to do was get through Mount Moon and head to the Cerulean City. At least that was the plan, but this was going to take a while. Around this point, after a long amount of time switch training Goldie, we eventually reached the exit, 20 minutes later, where we would eventually have to fight Team Rocket Grunts and Super Nerd to get a fossil. But the first rocket we faced had Eradicate, which ended up being a problem. I just sent out Goldie! Could you survive one? I don't want to risk it. Oh my god. That ain't good. Luckily, getting past that, it was really the only threat left in the cave for us, since after this we went and beat the Super Nerd, which let us get our fossil, which we did a coin toss for and ended up picking the Helix fossil. The only thing left was to fight the next gym leader, Misty, before we could move on. If you don't know where this is going, milk and cookies go really well together. I forgot to kill before coming in. Really? Already? Okay. Cookie should be fine. It's gonna take like 3 or 4 hits to finish off the Starmie, but Starmie at no point should kill. Yeah, we're good. We win. Massive win. Oh, that would have been nice XP for Goldie. That's okay. And there you have it! Beating Misty marked the end of the first quarter of our adventure, as well as the end of the first stream. The run had potential so far, especially with Goldie to evolve soon, and Fatty to help us through the upcoming fights as a rare encounter. With hope on our heart, the next 2 gyms were our next challenge, as well as whatever would be next to come. If you liked this video, don't forget that I'm streaming all of this on Twitch, and every other stream of this will be made into a video similar to this. And if you don't want to miss out on more of this Franchise Locke, don't forget to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to this channel for when the next video gets uploaded. While I may not currently have a schedule or planned out videos, it would help me out greatly in what I want to do. But for now, that is all there is to this challenge. Is the next stream going to be simple and easy, or are we going to end up losing something of great value to us? We'll find out next time.